Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
All right, welcome back. My name is Bill and I'm ready to fight.
And my name's Barry and I'm ready to fight.
All right, I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on.
So welcome to Ann in this corner, where we settle the score once and for all on who's the best. That includes best music, best TV shows, best movies, best anything basically. So here are the rules. Each host, myself and Bill, we get 30 seconds to explain who's the best on the topic that we're discussing. At the end of the round, Bill and I decide who won that round. And we keep it going until we run out of rounds, or whoever gets the most points wins. This week, what we talking about, Bill?
We're talking about the Soulja Boy and Bow Wow Verzuz that happened on Saturday. And what happens when we don't agree, Barry?
All right, so if we don't agree, it's easy. The audience splits the vote. A lot of this is based on opinions, myself and Bill's. But my mom always told me if like 5 or more people agree, that means it's a fact. So if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere with a comment section, add your 2 cents in the comment section and let us know who won each round.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so again, we're going to talk about the Soulja Boy and Verzuz battle that happened on Saturday. This one kind of popped up on me. I think it was again, when you first hear about these battles, you're kind of like, hey, why are these 2 guys battling? But it made sense. Again, it was very I was very entertained. Soulja Boy did his thing. Sometimes we have to go back and give these guys flowers. You forget how much music that influential music that these guys produce. So I was entertained and I'm ready.
Yeah, same here. I was entertained. So here's what we're going to do. A lot of music. They were supposed to go 20 rounds. It looked like somebody miscounted. We'll get into that. But for the rounds that we did count, for the rounds this is basically what we're going to do, Bill. We'll basically match up what they each had in each round. And me and you will go back and forth on the rounds that we agree on. If we agree Bow Wow won, we're not going to spend time to debate. If we agree that Soulja Boy won, we're not going to spend time to debate. Where we're going to actually fight is where me and you disagree, and that's where we'll be able to give our side of the story. So I'm going to do a coin toss, and that'll decide who goes in the ring first. You ready?
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
Tails.
Call it. I ain't look yet.
Tails.
All right, it's on heads. So that means, you know what?
I go first.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Let's go first. I mean,
here's the thing. We looking for, because I already know what you picked. You already know what I picked.
Absolutely.
We agreed on a lot of this stuff. Yeah. So what'll happen is that'll free up some time for us to actually get a chance to talk about some of these rounds a little bit more in depth. Yeah. But let's get into it. So round one.
Round one.
What happened?
We got Soulja Boy's Make It Clap versus Destiny's Child featuring Bow Wow, The Brat, and Jermaine Dupri, Jumpin', So Def remix. Barry?
Yeah, so round one, we both had Soulja Boy. Not a lot. He came out swinging. Bow Wow even said it, like he went into his bag early. So Soulja Boy got round one decisively.
And it's the most recent.
Anything
song.
You want to say?
What's the most recent?
Yeah,
that's a new song, TikTok song. Yeah. And honestly, like
I was surprised he started off with that early, but he wanted to. I guess that's the story he wanted to tell, which is I'm making recent records. So he actually went chronologically backwards. He put his recent stuff out first and then saved some of his. Well, not really. We'll see. But he played some of his biggest hits early. Yeah. Round two, what happened?
Round two, we got Soulja Boy, Turn My Swag On versus Chris Brown's Run It remix. And again, we got.
And then
it's
we both had Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy.
It's not close, in my opinion.
It's not.
It's not close.
I don't think so either. It's the remix versus but it's one of the biggest viral songs. Absolutely. So round three.
Round three, we got Soulja Boy featuring Sammy's Kiss Me Through the Phone versus Bow Wow featuring Escape, Bounce With Me.
All right, so here's the thing. So we both had Soulja Boy, right? So
Yep.
that's 3. He's 3-0 right now. And
Yep.
I didn't know that was Escape on the hook.
Yeah, it was Escape.
I just found that out. I just found that out from the Verzuz. And honestly, I didn't even learn it from the Verzuz. I learned it looking up the list after the Verzuz.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy.
Definitely Escape. You know, if honestly, Barry, to kind of talk about it, I think I had this originally as a tie.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the only reason I wanted to spend time on this. When it comes to my personal preference, I mean, that's when Bow Wow came out, and I was like the same age as the guy. Yep. And I remember that clip being on Monica had a song on Big Mama's House, and they only put on the beat to the OWI, whatever. The same song, right? I'm tripping. Yeah. All right. So for me, this is it's either a tie or this was Bounce With Me, right? This was the round he played Bounce With Me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I like Bounce With Me a little. I like Bounce With Me more, but the Soulja Boy is the bigger song. It's still played today.
It's still played.
So today. I'm like, he won that round. Yeah. So the fact that you said you had it at a tie, it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with what I would have went with for my personal pick.
Yeah, I had it as a tie. Round, Kiss Me Through the Phone was it superseded it.
Meek Mill was on a Breakfast Club interview, and he cited that song. That's something that he would play while he was in locked up to his old lady.
Oh, really?
So it's like, it's you got so much like OGs in the rap game endorsing that song. So I'm like, all right, it's too much history behind the song.
Yeah,
so I mean, Soulja Boy won that.
Soulja Boy won. All right, round 4, we got Soulja Boy's Pretty Boy Swag versus Bow Wow featuring R. Kelly, I'm a Flirt.
Yeah, so I didn't know. Bow Wow said this was his song. I didn't know that was his song.
It's actually his song.
I didn't know that. But still.
Yeah. Well, you know,
we both said.
One of the versions has T.I. on it.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
Pretty Boy.
Yeah, it's round 4. We both agreed Soulja Boy won this, and then it's just a TikTok favorite, IG favorite. It's challenges associated with this Soulja Boy song to where it has a life of its own, especially recently. This thing, like, there's a lot of TikTok challenges with the song to where it just kind of like it grew to a bigger monster. It's Soulja Boy by a landslide on this.
And one of the things, we're fraternity members, so I remember, Kappa's Pretty Boys, so that was theirs. And then I remember when Young Jeezy, he made a remix to it. He said Dope Boy Swag. So the song took off. The song took off. So it did. Okay.
Everybody has their cover version of this. And so even back then, before memes, it was already a meme. Mm-hmm. And today it's not going anywhere. Like if you Google this song, it's too many challenges associated with it.
I like
it's right now it's Soulja Boy 4-0, and this is where it starts getting interesting. Round 5.
We got Soulja Boy featuring Nicki Minaj. She Make It Clap remix. She Make It Clap, and versus Bow Wow featuring Chris Brown and Jonta Austin's Shorty Like Mine.
We both said Shorty Like Mine, Bow Wow, and then hey man, I really like Soulja Boy's pick on this one, but Bow Wow won, and this may not be the last time that we see this song on the countdown. So we'll see what happens.
This actually was a smart move.
But we did
very smart move.
Smart move. You talking about from Soulja Boy?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it when it happens. All right. So in round 6. I think this is what you're referring to. Tell us what happened.
Well, okay, so round 5, he played She Make It Clap. Round 6, he played She Make It Clap again, but this time he brought out French Montana for the remix.
No, this wasn't the this is when he just played the Nicki verse.
No, round 5 he played the Nicki verse.
Yeah, and then
6 he played the French verse.
So just to clear it up, we both said Bow Wow won. It's by default only because it's the same song, remix or not. So you said this was a good idea. We're in
Well,
round 5, right? Just so
we're on
we're around 6.
6. I'm gonna tell you.
All right, go ahead.
Round 6. Round 5.
So Bow Wow, we both agree Bow Wow
You
won,
just won. Yeah,
round,
yeah.
yeah.
The only way, I'm gonna say this. The only way you win a remix to me is if it changes the entire song. So for instance,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge.
Mm-hmm.
The remix, different.
It's totally different.
It's a new song to me.
Yeah.
But
it's like the 90s versions of remixes where it's like it's a whole new producer sometimes. It's a whole new group of artists. And to me, it's the same song.
This may be unpopular right now, but the king of remixes would be R. Kelly. So you know how he totally deconstructs a song and make it into a whole new song. So
that's why I said 90s version of remixes. That's what I'm thinking of when R. Kelly used to come in and just make you a totally different song.
Absolutely.
All right, so round 7.
So
right now is
7. Round 7 we have Soulja Boy's "Ya" versus Bow Wow featuring Birdman's "Let's Get Down."
Okay, and then you have Bow Wow. I have a tie.
Yeah. So honestly, Barry, I don't think we need to discuss this really because I'm leaning towards the tie. I wasn't the biggest fan of "Let's Get Down," but I'm cool with the tie.
All right, just making sure because for me, like I feel like the Ya song was funny at the time, but it's also something that's like it's timely. I don't feel like a lot of people rock with that today. Like and the same thing with "Let's Get Down." It was Bow Wow's biggest hit in 2005, but that's around that time when people thought Bow Wow was gonna fall off. He had a growth spurt. He came back, and then that song did okay for that year. But if you weren't around that year to consume that song, you don't know that song. That was
I'm not mistaken,
Birdman was on.
And if I'm not mistaken, the "Let's Get Down" song was on the album that Jermaine Dupri did not work on.
Okay,
that's
why it was a totally different Bow Wow. I think he was working with on that. That's a Jazzy Fizzle production, right?
I believe so. His first two albums, he worked with Jermaine Dupri. His third album, he did not, and then the fourth album, he went back.
Yeah, he was different on this one, and then I just remember he had cut the braids, had a growth spurt, and everybody was like, he about to fall off. He didn't, but still, it was like, and this was Birdman was on this song too, but for Bow Wow, it was the biggest song for him that year. For Birdman, it was just a Tuesday. Like he ended up coming out with that. Birdman had his second solo album. I don't remember what the name was, but he had like 3 singles that were all bigger than this song. To me, it's just both of these songs are not as memorable as people would like. So I had a tie. Right now, it looks like you're going to give me a point for the tie without stepping in the ring. So far, it's Soulja Boy 4, Bow Wow 2, and then it's a tie with 1.
I like that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go to round 8. Soulja Boy.
Round 8. Just to
go ahead.
No, just to be transparent, for the rest of this countdown, me and you agree. I think 7 was like that's asterisk.
That's weird.
We agree on everything else. Yeah. So but go ahead. Round 8.
All right. So round 8, we got Soulja Boy. I got me some Bapes versus Bow Wow featuring Omarion's Girlfriend.
It's we both had Bow Wow for 8. So moving on to 9.
Yep, number 9, we got again Soulja Boy featuring Shawty Lo and Gucci Mane, Gucci Bandana versus Bow Wow's Take You Home.
It's we both had Bow Wow Take You Home.
Yeah,
little Bow Wow. You just don't. Just when he started, he started bringing out some classics.
Harlem Shake and so yeah. So I think where we're at right now, we're at.
Oh shoot! Hold on. Wait, let me just make sure. Hold on, what's that? 4-4-1, correct. So right now we're on 10.
We're on round 10.
Yep.
All right, so round 10, we got Soulja Boy. She Got It Don't She got a Don't versus the remix of Pop, Lock, and Drop It by Huey.
And we both had Soulja Boy winning this one.
Definitely.
And it's also just now Pop, Lock, and Drop It to me is a big record, but Bow Wow played the remix, which to me isn't as big as the original. So it's like still Soulja Boy would have still won this. I felt like it would have been a closer matchup if it wasn't the remix, but still, it's we both had Soulja Boy on this. So right now it's 5-4 Soulja Boy, and then they also have one tie. I would say this: we're at the halfway point now, the alleged halfway point, because they didn't do 20 songs, but this is going completely different than what I remembered and what I expected. I expected Bow Wow to kind of like close, widen the gap early.
I thought so.
While I was watching this, even up to round 10, I felt like Bow Wow was like dragging them, but me actually writing it down, I'm like, oh no, Soulja Boy was winning at the halfway point. It's just because Soulja Boy to me had like a posture where he was losing. And I'm like, now that I'm counting it, I'm like, oh no, he was actually dominating for the first half.
And mind you, he gave 2 songs away.
Yep, he was playing. Like, he was tripping.
Round 11, we got.
So we're on 11?
Yeah, we're 11. So we got Nicki Minaj featuring Soulja Boy's Yas Bish versus Bow Wow's Basketball.
And then Bow Wow won this one.
Yeah,
Bow Wow started talking about that junk, he said, hey man, I got songs for my movies. So I know Soulja Boy was trying to rank, said, wasn't you in Drumline? It was funny. They both entertainers. So it worked out. So so we both had Bow Wow. And then that was round 11.
Yep. So round 12.
Right. Round 12.
Round 12, we got Roscoe Dash, Soulja Boy, All the Way Turned Up, smash, versus Jagged Edge featuring Bow Wow, Nelly, and Jermaine Dupri, Where the Party At remix.
All right, and then it's we both had Soulja Boy, but let me ask you this, just for my knowledge, if it wasn't the remix, I'm not talking about Where the Party At remix. I feel like the Where the Party At, which is featuring Nelly, that's a big record.
Bigger song.
Would you consider a tie? Yeah, would you consider it a tie if they would have did that?
Mm-mm.
You would have still said, you would have still had Soulja Boy.
No, I'd have gave it to Jagged Edge.
Okay, all right, making sure. All right. That's what I'm saying.
I would have gave it to Jagged
Edge.
Edge.
Okay, all right, making sure. I didn't want to know, I didn't want to show my age, but I'm like, Where the Party At to me is big, but we're not talking about the original, we talking about the remix, and the remix isn't as big as just the Nelly featured original or whatever. So I would have possibly gave it a tie, or I would have gave the edge to Jagged Edge. Yeah. All right. So to make sure we're at 6-5-1. Do you have 6-5-1?
I got 6-5-1.
All right. And then that was round 12. So we're moving on to round 13.
All right. Round 13. We got Trey Songz featuring Soulja Boy and Gucci Mane, LOL versus Bow Wow featuring T-Pain's Out of My System.
It's Out of My System. And then everybody was singing along when they get to that hook or whatever. So it's still something today because of that hook that everybody knows this song. And I forgot about LOL smiley face until they played it. I'm like, oh, I forgot about this. So we both had Bow Wow winning this round.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was 13, right?
6-6-1, tied up.
Yep.
So round 14, we're gonna go Soulja Boy, Let Me Get 'Em versus them franchise boys featuring Bow Wow, Jermaine Dupri, and the Brat. Ooh, I Think They Like Me remix.
And we gave it to Bow Wow, and like I said, JD or the Brat. Yeah, JD or the Brat getting ready for their own verses because they keep making guest appearances on So Def stuff. We saw them make a cameo for Escape, saw them make a cameo for Bow Wow, and I think one of them is up next for their own verses. But yeah, it's
but both of them were So Def artists, so
I know, but still, it's I know that, but I feel like for me, for the longest, I thought JD was one of those folks where it would be hard to get him to do something like this. but he's obviously warmed up to the idea of attending a Verzuz as a guest star. So it's not far-fetched to see him in the driver's seat.
No, but
it's Bow Wow.
He can remain relevant as well. So, but we gave that to Bow Wow. So round 15, Drake features Soulja Boy. We Made It versus 3 6 Mafia featuring Bow Wow and Project Pat, Side to Side remix.
Yeah, and we both had Soulja Boy.
So anytime you got a Drake,
it's right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. And then also he didn't present it right. I think he played the whole. This is the first time in Verzuz he played the whole track. Like he played the whole track from beginning to the end. So he might need to holler at his DJ for that. Like he was making the DJ look bad last night, but still, like he won that one regardless of the way it was presented. And that was, which round was that? That was 15.
That was 15. So we 7-7-1.
Yep, 7-7-1. It's tied. Like I said, if you watch this live, I just had the sense that Bow Wow was dominating by a landslide, and up to we're entering the closing rounds, and it's currently a tie. So, and
whenever I watch the battles, I always have my notes and I write down the songs. So I'm seeing the songs as they're playing it. I'm listening and I'm writing. So
I wrote them down. I wrote them down too, but I only wrote the winners. So I wasn't really counting how much times each person won, but it felt like I was writing Bow Wow a lot when that's not the case, because I wrote Bow Wow the same amount of times I wrote Soulja Boy. So that's just surprising to me.
16,
I just knew go ahead.
16, we got, this was it was a smart move. I give it to him, but he lost a round. He brought out Little Romeo, who did 3 songs basically, versus Bow Wow featuring Mike Jones, Fresh as I Miss.
And by default, we both had Bow Wow because basically he forfeited this round. It was just, for me, I felt like this is when I started like looking like, okay, you played the same song 3 times and then you skipped rounds. I felt like Soulja Boy understood that this is just a marketing ploy. He's like, look, man, it's entertainment. I'm having fun. And he had the most fun I think I've seen a guest have on Verzuz, because he really was giving up rounds to Bow Wow. And when you factor in how close these were, he could have probably won if he would have kind of focused on picking some of the right songs.
Yeah.
But to me, it was a good moment because that's a viral moment when you have Bow Wow and Romeo on the same stage.
Yeah, but, and I think that he probably started to run out of songs as well.
Yeah.
Because this is me. If I'm an artist, if I know I'm going up against another artist, I'm going to write down their song, their hit songs. I know that they're going to, their hit songs that most likely they're going to end up playing. And then I want to write down some other songs. So if you look at, if Bow Wow could come with a 20 pack of songs, and I probably got a strong 15, how can I kind of sway things to my way or try to make people think another way? So I think he was trying to definitely do something to make it clap. Maybe if he would have put all 3 verses together on the first, when he did one song, and maybe have some other songs in those filler spots. But again, he played with it.
He played with it, and also some of it is just poor time management, because we're on round 16 when you tell me round 17, he miscounted and thought that was 20. So I would like to give him credit for.
I don't understand how. I don't understand how.
We're gonna talk about it. Yeah, okay. We're gonna talk about it. That's why I said I said the whole thing made the DJ look unorganized. But
all right, in round 17, you had Crank That versus Let Me Hold You. At first, man, well, we can talk about who we chose.
Well, we both had Soulja Boy for Crank That.
It's not even. Yeah,
because no matter what round he would have played that in, he would have won that. So we both had Soulja Boy.
But I think this was, if Bow Wow, if Soulja Boy would have played anything besides that, it would have been an instant win. Because Let Me Hold You had the Luther Vandross sample. He came back as Bow, he came back with he came back with a strong album, a strong song. This was the lead-off song from that album. Big record. But it's going up against Crank That.
It's a couple of songs that if he would have, it's a couple of Soulja Boy songs that if he would have put that in the same round, he would have lost. And that's why I felt like Bow Wow thought they had more rounds to go, which is why Bow Wow seemed organized, which is why he stayed on stage. Soulja Boy left and he came back, and I'm like, because the next couple rounds don't count. So we're done. Right now we have 8-8. 8-8-1, and then Bow Wow comes out and wins by default. Soulja Boy miscounted and he's nowhere to be found. Then for that was round 18. Round 19, it's a tie because they both played Marco Polo. At that point, Soulja Boy tells Bow Wow, we already hit 20. And Bow Wow, I think, was keeping track, and he was like, oh, something must be off with us. I'm just going to trust Soulja Boy's judgment. So he was like, all right, he signals to his DJ, play the last track. We miscounted somewhere. Bow Wow never miscounted. So they played Marco Polo for the last track. And then
which they had already planned to do anyway.
They planned to do that, but it's the fact that Soulja Boy had probably blown his clip a little too early and was like, oh, I'm done. I don't got no more songs. And it was like, you going over 20. So they had to play that when they played it. But yeah, it's 8-8. I did not feel like that when I watched it. I felt like Bow Wow dominated more, but it's 8-8-1, so it's a tie. And I mean, it's just a matter of Bow Wow may have more hits. Also the hits are because they had this talk during their argument, which is being number one on Billboard versus going platinum back in the day. It's different. It's a difference because people were actually moving units back then as opposed to like moving MP3 files now. So Bow Wow may have more pounds on the floor in regards to like he just has a long career, but Soulja Boy, his hits are just almost iconic. Like they still play at parties today. There's still music that you play at every pool party whenever you want people to get off the wall or whatever. So yeah, I think this matchup was perfect. I don't know what they did streaming wise, but they were at 600,000 at one point. I don't know what the final numbers were, but it looks like I would like to see in comparison, how did they do against some of the other heavyweights in regards to streaming.
And you watched
I mean, Instagram? I watched it on IG.
Okay, so IG had about 600, and then you add on the Triller.
See, that's the other thing. It's hard to keep track of it now because they got so many different avenues they're going with. Yeah, so this was a big one. I mean, hey man, so right now it's a tie. So that means we have to do a victory speech for both of these guys. And man, since I flipped the coin and I won, we didn't really get to get in the ring today, but since I went first, I won the coin toss. I'll let you do the honors of going first and just giving a shout out to those two.
All right, victory, shout out to Bow Wow, shout out to Soulja Boy. You guys really are iconic. You made great music, continue to make great music. Man, you guys, you tend to forget, and that's why I love Verzuz, because it always makes you remember. So shout out to both of those guys. And as much as I love No Limit, Romeo, you are not Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was funny. That was the biggest joke that night. And then, for me, I just want to shout out to both of these guys. My age mirrors Bow Wow. I know when he did the video where he was at Let's Get Down to DMV, that's when I had just got my first car. So that was nice. We were always the same age, and I grew up with a lot of his hits. A lot of dudes my age grew up hating on him because every girl that we tried to talk to, that was their boyfriend. But I already remember Bow Wow was a legend, and sometimes he becomes a meme and people forget that. So this was a great reminder. Absolutely. Same thing with Soulja Boy. People forget that he actually changed. Yeah, people forget he changed the way music is actually released, like that
Absolutely.
viral aspect to it.
Viral.
So shout out to
Yep.
both of these two, man.
Shout out.
All right.
Definitely.
Hey, but here's the thing. We got 881. I'm pretty sure if you ask somebody else, it really just depends on how the rounds shake up. So we got 881. It may not be the same for everybody out there. So what happens if people don't agree, Bill?
Hey, if you don't agree, go down to the comment section, my 2 cents, type it in. We would love to hear from you. And let us know where do you not agree with us, or where do you agree with us? My 2 cents cool. Comment section.
Yeah, for sure. I want to. I'm anxious to hear that. And then outside of that, man, this was a great Verzuz. They started on time. This was like the best time management, even though they didn't do 20 songs.
Yeah,
they had some. They got me to bed at a reasonable time. So, hey, I'm looking forward to what Verzuz got in store. So keep track of us. Subscribe. Make sure you keep up. That's all that I got, Bill. Go ahead and you add the final words.
All right. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. And in this corner, I'm Bill. That's Barry. And we're out.
Peace.
Peace.